Welcome everyone, Intuitive Edge here. Thank you for joining me. Today I'd like to take a look at some world predictions. Now, I went to do this earlier and tried to do a tarot for the year, and it got to be really long and it wasn't specific enough for what I wanted to accomplish. So I thought, why don't I just pull up a globe and do some intuition based on just what I see and try to get something more specific. So I think this will work a little better. I haven't done this quite like this before. So I did that. I sat down for a little bit and I wrote some things down, and I want to show you. I'm going to move my crystals here. I'll show you what I worked with. I have a really old globe. And it's so old, it actually says like the USSR. And so some of the places aren't labeled correctly anymore because there's been world changes. Let me see if I can spin this around. So it's kind of fun, though, these old globes. I found this in the basement here at the house. So anyway, what I did was I sat and just kind of just held my hands over, prayed, and kind of felt what might be coming up. And I did get some images and some things coming through. So I want to share with you what I got for 2019. Some international stuff as well as some for the United States. So the first thing I saw, I should give you something to look at. Let's see. The first thing I saw was that my hands were drawn over to Mongolia. Now, I don't know, I couldn't tell exactly why, but I felt some energy there. So I don't know if there's, I saw like a young leader kind of rising up out of the population. I don't know if there's a political shift there happening, but I felt kind of over to the western side. There's some lakes there. And I felt like there might be something, I don't know, either geologic or something in that area. So not sure exactly what, but anyway, be aware of that. The other, I was drawn over to India. Now, I got something to do with tourism, like a group of tourists or something along the western, like there's a mountain range or something along the western side. And I felt something to do with tourists. So I don't know if there's a group of tourists that maybe something happens to them, or maybe there's something that goes awry with a tour group, perhaps related to transportation. So that's just a possibility I was feeling with India. Next, I was drawn to the Atlantic, and I felt like a stirring out in the Atlantic, a little bit east of Bermuda. And I realized it was like a hurricane forming, and I felt it just take off and make a beeline toward North Carolina. Now, I'm hoping that isn't the case. I hope maybe it's just a tropical storm, but it felt like it was going to make landfall somewhere around North Carolina. So I know that those folks have been through a lot already. So now I hope I'm wrong there, but it felt like it was a big storm and kind of made a direct landfall. So there's that. Let's see. Next I had, now I was drawn up to the northwest United States, around Mount Baker or Glacier Peak. That's in Washington State. I think there's going to be an earthquake, perhaps, around maybe Mount Baker. I don't know if it's going to be a real giant one, And I didn't know, I saw like a landslide, so I don't know if it's just gonna, like an earthquake causes a landslide near the mountain, or if it's a possible eruption. I'm not sure exactly on that, but there may be some concern with geologists up north, and that's up toward the Canadian border with Washington State. The other thing that I saw that my hands, I like I said, I was kind of just taking my hands over the globe and just kind of where I was drawn, and then I would just kind of ask and get messages. The next one was the Oregon, off of the Oregon coast. I think there's going to be a possible earthquake out there at sea, which might possibly cause some waves to come in. I felt the waves were really, like they really hit the kind of the Vancouver Island area. And again, these are just my, just my psychic predictions. I haven't quite done it quite like this before, so we'll see how this pans out. I may be off on this, but I did feel like there was something, because my hands, when I was feeling the globe, and I'll show you this again. Let's see if I can get over there. Okay, I don't know if you guys, I hope you can see this. So this is Canada up here. This is the United States, and then California, and then this green one here is Oregon. And when I was over here, it was like my finger was like, I was like shaking, like that energy of like earthquake. And so that's how I just felt like there's some type of shaking. And it felt like it was off out here, right about there. Not far out, not out here, but a little bit closer. And it felt like it was pretty big, and it caused a wave to hit up here at Vancouver Island and kind of inundate a little bit. And it felt like it was felt pretty well inland. So I don't know how big that will be. Hopefully it won't be too big if it does happen. But anyway, that was something that came through pretty strong. Okay, let me see what else. Okay, so I got something kind of interesting for Alaska. I felt like there is going to be possibly a new discovery of either an insect or a plant up in Alaska, and this is going to attract international attention of like scientists and botanists. So I kind of saw like a tiny little white flower, and I'm wondering if this is like, it's like a new discovery of a new genre of plant, and it's gonna cause a lot of people to be pretty excited about it, and it's gonna gain international attention. Okay. Next on my list, when I was going over the globe, I felt that there may be an earthquake in the Midwest, around kind of like Illinois or Missouri area, possibly. I don't think it's going to be like huge, but it may kind of get people's attention, possibly. So then I was drawn up, I asked about Canada, and I was kind of drawn up there. For Canada, I pictured in my mind there was a little songbird, and it was like just tweeting a really beautiful little melodic tune like songbirds do. And as I got closer to the bird, I realized that the bird's, even though the song and the tune was beautiful, it was a warning song, like a song about, it was like almost like an omen, like a warning. So I don't know if Canada, I felt like there may, the word I got on that was song of change. So I'm wondering if Canada is going to go through some changes that, I'm not sure exactly if it's politically. I kind of felt maybe it was political. So we'll see what happens with that. Next on my list, I spun the globe back over on France. France has been through a lot this past year, and I feel like there is still that populist uprising that they've had is going to continue, the nationalist type uprising, and it's going to spread. It's actually taking hold, I think, even more, and I saw like spreading from like west to east, like it's heading more. It's going to take more of the country. More people are going to rise up and feel be in alignment with that uprising. From there, I went over to Ireland. Ireland just felt there was something very peaceful about it. I don't know if they're going to, almost like centuries old, how do you want to say? Like issues that have been, centuries old, disagreements, issues, skirmishes. I just felt like a peace coming over the whole area, especially the southern and middle part. It's like just, and I saw like these falling shamrocks, like snowfall, but like, and just in imagery, okay, not literal, but just like these beautiful falling shamrock, and just felt like this peace coming to that area. Next, I went over to Russia. Russia, I felt, is strengthening their military, and they are beefing up their defenses and their border security. I feel like Russia may have a border security issue, and this is west and south of Moscow, and it felt like, I don't know if that's the area of the Ukraine or Crimea region, but it felt like there's something to do with the border issue, and Russia's on top of it, but they're, I don't know if they're stopping a terrorist attack, but I almost see military down at the border there, like troops. So not sure what that's about, but the government's going to be on top of whatever that is. I asked about China, and I felt like China is going to rely heavily on tourism, that they're going to begin promoting tourism even more and encouraging tourists to come to China. And they're going to make great strides. I think they're going to see tourism as both lucrative and as a way to garner support somehow. But they're going to have a big push with their tourism. Now, this last one kind of was strange to me. I spun over to Africa, and the country Mauritania. I don't know why there was energy there, but it was really strong, and I'm not sure. I kept kind of asking about what is this, and I couldn't really get a real clear, but I just kept feeling like, I don't know if they're going to have another turnover with their political leaders, or some type of overthrow or change, perhaps a new election. Something is going to be kind of upended there again. And I think that area, I asked my husband about it, and I think it's been a little unstable, he said, for some time. Seems like every few years. So it looks like they're going to go through another change again in that area. And that was pretty much wrapped up my predictions for 2019. It wasn't like completely comprehensive, but I kind of covered most of the globe, I guess. So anyway, that's kind of what I got. I'm hoping I'm not quite right on the earthquakes and the hurricane, because that can't be good. So anyway, and the new discovery in Alaska, that might be kind of neat. So anyway, that's all I have for this. Thanks for being here with me and trying something new with me. So we'll talk to you all next time, and I hope you have a great week. See you next time. Bye-bye.